In today's video, we're going to look at 3 actually pretty decent mods for Assetto Corsa to see if you should download them or whether they aren't worth your time. We all know there are literally thousands of mods out there for AC1. Some of them are professional simulator quality, others are, well, T-Rex anyone? The 3 mods we're looking at today are super fun to drive, especially the Cross Kart, which might be one of my favourite mods of all time. We also have an F1 powered Lotus, as well as a forgotten single-seater. We will then compare them up the trusty Prescott Hillclimb. So let's get started. So here we are then at Caramulo in Portugal. Awesome car show that happens here every year. And we're in the Cross Kart. So this is a quick little thing, only weighs 300 kilos. Has about 130, 140 horsepower from a Yamaha bike engine, and as you can see, when I was first driving this, it was, tricky to say the least. You really need to use the power and use the throttle to turn the car through the corners, but what I was doing here is I was just carrying way too much speed, and then when you do carry the throttle, obviously you lose a bit of your full momentum and you just slide into the wall, and yeah, the rest is history. So yeah, not the easiest thing to drive, but it's just so much fun. Like, you just tip it in, and then you've just got to try and hold the counter steer and use the throttle to just control how sideways you are. And it's very counterintuitive if you're used to your GT3s, etc, etc. If you're into your drifting, your drift cars, this will be probably second nature to you. But it's just so much fun. It really is. Like, there's not many other mods that have this type of feeling. And you'll see in some of the slow-mo shots that the front wheels the inside front wheels lifting off the ground because the suspension is so soft, and it just looks so cool. But I thought I'd do a quick run here of Caramulo. Nice drift through there. When you get a drift right like that, it feels so good. And I'm not a drifter. I've never been a drifter. Never been very good at it. So I spent 10-15 minutes just learning a little bit more how to drive this. And once you slow yourself down and stop over driving, it just becomes brilliant. Honestly, it just feels fantastic. So yeah, I'd highly recommend giving this a download. It's not the fastest in a straight line, although it's quick. It feels super quick because it's so small. But around the turns, it's just a blast. Imagine driving these in real life and racing them against others as well. It would be unbelievable amounts of fun. Pretty dangerous maybe on a hill climb like this. I think they might race on dirt in real life. I don't actually know. I've never watched these. I've got no idea about them. The cross kart, so I assume they go off-road and on-road. Yeah, for an AC mod to feel like this and to handle the way it does, but you can still get that forward momentum even when you're sideways, which is really difficult to portray in Assetto Corsa, which you can see by some of the historic cars that they've done. Yeah, another nice drift here as well, if I remember. There you go, look at that. Lovely. And then accelerate up the hill, over the finish. Not a particularly quick time, but yeah, just showcasing what this thing can do is so awesome. Great bit of kit, lovely bit of fun. Definitely recommend downloading this. But let's move on to the next car now. This is a Lotus Evora, but as you'll notice by the absolutely mad RPMs we're doing at the moment, it's not your normal Lotus Evora race car. It has a V10 Formula 1 engine from the early 2000s. I'm guessing this has been taken from the F2004. But yeah, it's so quick. I mean, listen to it as well. It's just magnificent. Oh, I get to listen to it all day. But the weird thing is with this, it's not just the engine. I thought it was just like an engine swap. But look at the downforce we've got. Look at the corner grip we've got. It has some serious grip. You can almost drive it like an F1 car, which is a little bit weird when you're in cockpit view and you're inside a car. But it's so quick. I think it might even be quicker than an F1 car. I don't know, but it's it's super quick. Good bit of fun. Definitely a bit of a sleeper. But listen to it. Here's I tried to drive in chase view for a second and completely lost control using no traction control. But yeah. Definitely a bit of fun, sounds incredible. You could definitely try and race it against some F1 cars, have a bit of fun with it that way, but yeah, not bad. But let's move on to the final car now. So this is the final car, and yes, it's a single-seater, You might not recognise it though, especially if you're a more a modern racing fan. I remember this, but only, I think it might have been in like Race Driver Grid or something way back in the day. But it was actually a support series to the World Touring Car Championship. I think 2007, 2008, something like that. And it's the Formula Masters, it's called. And this is the car from that series, I believe. It's now used in a lot of Hillclimb cars. They've sort of taken the chassis and everything, and they use it on a lot of Hillclimb courses with different engines normally, especially in the European Championship, I believe. But yeah, it's a great fun little car. It's about 230 horsepower. Obviously doesn't weigh very much, 500-600 kilos. And I think it's a really well done mod actually. And you can see it has quite a lot of grip, especially on initial turning, but then the rear end really loves to come around. I've not played with the setup, but there's a lot of fun to be had, and just feeling where the grip is, and just doing your preventative counter steering. It's really a lot of fun because, like I say, there's a lot of initial mechanical grip, but it doesn't feel like there's much sort of aero grip. So yeah, I really like it, and I think it's really going to be fun up the hill climb. I tried to switch a Judd V10 or V8 engine into this, but it just wouldn't work for me. I couldn't get it to work, so I don't know quite why. Some kind of error said that there was some files missing or something, so we're just going to keep it standard with the standard engine that it had for the hill climb run. We'll see how fast it is, and we'll compare it against the other two cars, and compare it against all of the other cars we've run up the hill climb in the past, because yeah, we can see where it stacks up against some of the other single-seaters and some of the other cars. So let's get to the Prescott Hillclimb and get to the times. First up then, it's the Cross Kart. Off the line, it's super quick off the line. It looks way faster than it actually is, to be honest. But yeah, it took a few goes for me to get this right. You can see a few skid marks where I've gone sideways and off the track, and yeah, had an interesting experience. Low speed, it does not like rotating at low speed. It loves rotating at low speed. Too much, unfortunately. But yeah, on this run I was able to keep it under control. Up towards the S's now. Dab on the brakes, into the fast right hand, and missed the apex completely. But that's okay. This car understeers like crazy until you get the rear end out. Ignore the wall tap, that didn't happen. Into the final corner, again nice and sideways. Early on the power, mind the grass on the outside, and across the line in a 45.5. Next then is the Formula Masters, off the line again. We've done loads of single seaters up this hill, so it'll be interesting to see how this compares to the rest of them. Not super quick in a straight line, but pretty good around the corners. There is again quite a lot of mechanical grip and quite a lot of downforce, so we'll see where it stacks up. But yeah, on the power, nice and clean, quite a good steering angle on this car as well, so the hairpins aren't too much of a problem for it, which it can be for some of the bigger Formula 1 cars. Again, coming down into the S's, I think we can take quite a lot of speed into here. Almost lose it, clip the curb. We do have to get it slowed down a lot for that last left-hander, because it does like to understeer off there. Loves the back end to come around here as well. You can see me sliding it, but across the line, it's going to be a 42.6. So yeah, a lot faster than the kart. Let's see if the Lotus F1 car can beat the actual F1 car. And speaking of, here it is, the Lotus up the hill, unbelievably quick. Especially look at that around the first corner. This took me about a million goes to get right. This car hates the hill climb. It cannot stand it. It's no traction. I'm not using traction control. It's just awful, to be honest. The traction, I'm barely full throttle anywhere, not even here, like only right at the end before I get to the corner of my full throttle. Turning it in through the S's, I have to really slow it down for that left-hander because the amount of times I went into the outside wall was crazy. Gyro loads of speed into the final corner, the wheel hops round, across the line, it's a 35.6. So let's see where that stacks up with everything else. So let's have a look at the times. We'll start with the Cross Kart, 45.599, puts it faster than the Shelby Super Snake, but a little bit slower than the Dodge Charger Hellcat Red Eye. So we're around the JDM, the US muscle car time with the Cross Kart. Two very different cars, but hey ho. The Formula Masters 42.6, so that puts it a little bit quicker than a NASCAR, but slower than a Porsche GT3. So yeah, not bad to be honest, not bad at all from the Formula Master. The Lotus 35.6, that puts it faster than a Super Formula, but slower than the F1 cars ever so slightly, just behind the Rebel RB7, but a good second or so behind the other V10 F1 car. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you want to download any of them, just let me know in the comments and I'll send you the link to them. Please do make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.